Hey guys, Aaron Tainter here. In this video, I'm showing you some badass guitar riffs. Badass riffs? You've heard them. The ones where you take a second, stop and think, wow, that's pretty badass. You immediately want to pick up a guitar and start jamming along. We've all heard the popular ones like Back in Black, Smoke on the Water, and Purple Haze, but there are many other hidden badass riffs that I haven't heard a lot of other guitar players play very often. I created this channel because I really care about giving back to the community and also inspiring musicians. So I hope I inspire you with this list of 10 little played badass guitar riffs. That first song was called Open My Eyes by the Rival Sons. The riff itself is super easy because there are just a couple notes on the E and A strings, but it sounds so massive with a sub-octave and a fuzz pedal. I put an octave before my fuzz and I used a germanium style fuzz for a really harsh, spitty sound. Next up is Spread Your Love by Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. This riff is also super easy because it's just 3 power chords with a few minor variations, but it sounds oh so badass. Pair this riff with a vintage style overdriven amp and a tube screamer, and you will feel like you're playing an anthem for a bunch of rebels riding motorcycles. With a take on a classic Beatles song, Gary Clark Jr. recently released his own rendition of Come Together for the Justice League movie soundtrack. I actually saw Gary Clark Jr. perform this year, and I have to say this song sounds absolutely massive. You drop tune the E string to D for this song and use a high gain or big muff style pedal for some rich, smooth distortion. For this song, I really enjoy the juxtaposition of that low main riff paired with a very high riff on that D minor first position. After announcing the recent Let's Rock album with 3 singles including Go, Low High, and Eagle Birds, Black Keys made a comeback after a long hiatus following their previous album Turn Blue. Dan Auerbach is known for some of his hard-to-find retro gear and badass riffs, so it's no surprise that their new album was nothing different. Every song on their new album is great, but I especially like Eagle Birds because that main riff is so memorable. I usually use a heavy overdrive for this song with just a small mix of sub-octave to make the guitar part sound wider. Tame Impala is definitely known to be more of an indie band, but make no mistake, Elephant definitely does have a badass guitar riff with an interesting drop D tuning. The song itself sounds pretty psychedelic with all the layered effects and synths, but the guitar riff has almost some metal qualities with the muted rhythmic strumming on the E and the A string. I usually use a pretty heavy fuzz sound for this song and roll off almost all of the top end frequency with the tone knob on my guitar. Are You Mine was released all the way back in 2012, and it was pretty popular when it was first released, but it hasn't been getting a lot of love recently. The opening riff is pretty heavy and really in your face. I really enjoy playing this riff because it covers most of the fretboard, and I really enjoy sliding all the way up to that 14th fret in the second measure. Although this one's a classic ZZ Top song, Joe Bonamassa has been known to cover I Just Got Paid. Unfortunately, I didn't have any humbuckers to play this song, but you do want to play this with either a cranked plexi sound or a cranked Fender Twin. Since there are a lot of string changes on that main riff, you really want to use a tight distortion sound with not a lot of low-end frequencies. I usually use a tube screamer or some other pedal that cuts those low-end frequencies. I've been listening to No Good quite a bit recently. It's a modern song, but it has a very classic rock blues vibe. Although the band's actually from Iceland, the song does have that classic Americana rock and roll feel to it. It's the kind of song that you want to listen to while driving across the country on Route 66. I like to use an amp with a relatively low amount of gain and use a slapback echo to make the sound wider because most of the main riff is played on the higher strings. Crossroads isn't exactly little known by the guitar community because it is a classic rock song, but I thought I would include it in this list because I haven't heard a lot of people playing it recently, and it does sound pretty badass. If you use a heavy fuzz face style fuzz with a hard noise gate and then roll off some of that top end frequency, you can get almost a percussive sound that just sounds really cool with this song. That last song is definitely the hardest on the list. It's called Love Spreads by the Stone Roses, and you have to drop tune your guitar to open D in order to play it. It requires some decent skill with the slide and coordinated string changes, so it isn't for the faint of heart. But if you get it though, it sounds so badass. You definitely want to use the bridge pickup with a high treble guitar like a Telecaster for this song, and I threw in a bit of overdrive to make the note sustain longer when I was playing with the slide. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely did leave a lot of songs off the list, but this was just some of the songs that I've been playing recently that I thought needed some more love, so I thought I'd share them with you. I've linked tabs for these songs in the description so that you can learn the songs yourself if you want. If you have any badass riffs that you've been playing, make sure to leave a comment down below, or if you have any video ideas as well, leave a comment. I've already gotten a couple of requests for some looper videos, but I'm open to other suggestions too. That's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed those 10 badass riffs, and I'll see you next time.